Hey guys, welcome back for another episode of the Daily Crypto Forecast, and I'm gonna start with the BTC USD chart as usual. Long-term view, still downtrending until this downtrend line doesn't break in the upside with significant volume. I'm not gonna be calling bottoms, and other than that, I'm still waiting for the price to make it down to around $3,000 or just below $3,000. And from there, I'm expecting a significant recovery, not only for Bitcoin, but for crypto in general, because we're still very extended in the downside. We didn't have a decent recovery for such a long time, and price doesn't move in the same direction forever, not in bull markets, not in bear markets. During the bull market, you can see here when things started to go crazy in the beginning of 2017, we had a 2 months bear market here. So for 2 months we were going sideways and down, and you know, it happens during bull markets. During bear markets, you need to have periods of retracement in the opposite direction. So I expect this during the bear market as well. And yeah, I'm estimating this will happen when we reach around $3,000, which will be the peak of this significant high here. It'll be the level of the 200-week moving average, and it's also at the same level with the 50-month moving average. It's all around $3,000, maybe a little bit lower, but around that level. I expect that level to be super defended, so waiting on that. Moving into the 4 hours for Bitcoin, for the shorter term, we have been forming this pattern for the past few days. So we've been just watching this pattern for the past few days. This looks like a downtrend channel right now. Yesterday we hit support and it bounced. So, but we're still, it could be either this downtrend channel or either this symmetric triangle. In any case, if this is a downtrend channel, it's a bull flag type pattern, and this would be the pole, this run up here. So whether this is a bull flag or downtrend channel, or whether this is a symmetric triangle, the target is the same. The target goes from the lowest to the highest of the pattern. As I said, whether this is a bull flag or a triangle, the target is the same. You just grab draw a line from top to bottom of the pattern and put it at the level of the breakout. Of course, we don't know yet where this will break out yet, if it even breaks out, because maybe it won't even break out and it'll just continue sideways or uptrending or downtrending slightly without having an actual breakout with volume. So if it doesn't break out with volume, then targets are irrelevant. But just estimating here, anticipating where the price could go if this actually breaks out. So if it breaks in the upside at around this level, the target is 4,880, and on the downside is just at $3,000. So that's what we have been estimating for the past few days already. Moving on to Litecoin, and I know this chart is not so popular anymore. Not many people talk about Litecoin anymore, but I think it's important to show this chart, because if we look at the whole history for Litecoin was actually here for, it's been here for a very, very long time, and we can see the previous bubble and bear market very clearly. Litecoin was one of the only coins back then. I think there were like 10, I could be wrong now, but I think I remember there were like maybe 10 coins, maybe 15. But anyways, Litecoin was one of the, the most relevant one after Bitcoin. And even with that, being one of the big, altcoins, or the only big altcoin, it still corrected 98+%. So you cannot expect less than that for small coins today, for your Neo, for your Cardano, doesn't matter how hyped these coins have been during the bull market. I mean, it's typical in crypto for altcoins, even the big ones, to correct 98 or 99%. So, we still have a way to go down if this repeats. Of course, it doesn't have to repeat. I'm not saying this is going to happen 100% sure. There's nothing sure in trading, or in charts, but looking at previous history, it's at least you need to to admit that it's probable. As for the current bear market, Litecoin has corrected so far 92, a little bit more than 92%. So we're holding on to, like, we are just at the level of the previous bubble here. Doesn't look it's going to hold, and the reason is because this is still going down. It didn't even start going sideways yet. We didn't have a real bounce at the bottom. When markets hit absolute bottom, you see a huge bounce because there's big orders from, you know, from whales there that have the order set, and that's usually the end of the bear market. Like here, for example, the very last part of the bear market is capitulation, like heavy capitulation, brum. And then a bounce of, let's see, this one, it went all the way down to $1, and it bounced to more than $2. So it was a 150% almost. It was a more than 100% bounce. So, you know, when I see this, I'll say, okay, when I see a 75 or 100% bounce, I'll say, okay, this is very likely to be the bottom. And then when this downtrend resistance breaks in the upside, if we see this 100% bounce and this resistance being broken, then I'll be like very, very confident that was the bottom. But so far we haven't seen anything like that, like not even close. We are still falling and falling fast. So I think we are, you know, we are getting close from final capitulation, just not there yet. Moving on to the 4 hours for Litecoin, like many other cryptos, right now we're forming something like a downtrend channel, but again, we don't have any volume here, you know, confirming a breakout. So this is basically waiting time. A confirmation on a break on the downside would be if we break the previous significant low here, right at $28.4 more or less. And if this level is broken with significant volume, then that's your confirmation for a breakdown. It could break in the upside as well, because this is, as I have been saying, a bull flag type pattern. So it could break in the upside. Your confirmation would be breaking this resistance trend line in the upside with significant volume. And looking at this time frame, probably the first level of significant resistance is going to be at around $40, $39-40, where we had this sell-off here, this heavy sell-off here with a lot of selling volume. There's going to be a lot of sellers if we make it up to that level at around $39. Moving on to Dash versus the US dollar. Dash has been around for quite a long time as well. Actually, I didn't open this chart for a very, very long time, and when I opened this chart today, I still had these two horizontal lines up here. I only added this line down there and this diagonal resistance line, but I had these two lines here probably from the last time I was doing technical analysis on this coin. When it was going down, I probably put these lines expecting strong support at 230 and at 124, like the levels to watch. They actually held for a long time here because it was significant peak from here, and same for the 124. It actually bounced the price quite a bit, and it took like forever to break. Because it was this significant peak here, and it was also the 200-week moving average, but it finally broke. So we are basically suspended in mid-air, like I have been seeing in many other coins. If we start closing below these levels here, then we're not going to have any significant support until all the way down to $15 or $16, which is, surprise, surprise, the peak of the previous bubble before the previous bear market in 2014, which is typical for crypto to correct all the way to the top of the previous bubble. And if that happens, that would be for a 99% correction, which is what Litecoin did in the previous bear market, which is very common. So there's a long way down. I'm not calling for it. It doesn't have to happen, but it wouldn't be rare for crypto at all. So, you know, I'm hoping that it doesn't happen as well. You know, I want these markets to recover, but you know, you need to be realistic and see things for what they are, and we're headed down for now. So, you know, there's no denial of this. We didn't even have, as I said, a bounce like when you hit bottom, you're gonna have a 100% bounce. We haven't seen that yet, so price is just falling. Buying right now is like trying to catch a falling knife. Moving on to the dash 4 hours for the shorter term, exactly the same I said for Litecoin, for Bitcoin, and for many others. This one already went below the previous significant low, which makes it weaker than others. But again, I would wait for this pattern to break, because maybe it breaks in the upside for the shorter term, but we need to wait for confirmations on that. That's all for today crypto forecast, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.